Welcome back, survivors. I know, right? Crazy, huh? This is Chububba01. And yeah, for real. We're back here on Ark. And you may be thinking, whoa, what's going on? Um, didn't you make your last Ark video? And I thought so at the time. Um, but I thought I would make. Oh, yeah, there's. Hang on. We're fixing to go into hyperspace. And it's gonna rain. That should be epic. There we go. Going into hyperspace. So what I thought I would do is maybe make one more, maybe two more videos before I literally uninstall Ark from my Xbox. I do have it installed on the PC, and I started playing Fjordur on there, but I really think I just want to start over on the island since I'm having to start from scratch on the PC, and that'll give me time to really learn the controls and stuff like that, which if you are just beginning on Ark and you're not sure what to do, I did make a little short 3-episode starter beginner series that you can check out, and I did that several months ago. And I did that on the PC, and I was learning the controls on the PC at the time as well. So that made it kind of interesting and fun and sort of embarrassing at the same time. Anyway, we are on Genesis 2. And if it wasn't raining, then you could tell that we were in space. And that was a great big engine, because we are in a great big spaceship. And so just to kind of catch you up on things, what's been going on, story-wise, if you don't remember, or if you don't know, you can go back and watch when I played through Extinction. And on Extinction, you're actually on Earth, and you bring the arcs back to Earth and restore Earth to some sort of usability, livability, etc., etc. And then you get teleported to Genesis 1, and it turns out Genesis 1 is all in a situation. It's all in a simulation that's happening inside of a computer that is on this ship, by the way. And that simulation was set up by a group of people that thought Earth was doomed, that there was no hope for it, and so they split and they left Earth to go colonize somewhere else. And so you're on that colony ship, and all the dinos and things are all on here. This half is the normal half. I think this is called Eden, the Eden half. Here's this the blurry map. All right, and you can see what we're looking at here. This map is humongous, and they were pretty clever. They threw some mountains in there, so you can't see all the way to the end, which would crash. Speaking of which would crash everything. Oh, we dropped out of hyperspace. It's also the Halloween event is going on right now. Anyway, Genesis 1 all takes place in a simulation, and when you defeat Genesis 1, you are kicked out here into the ship itself, only to find out that this half is fine. The other half has been taken over by, spoiler alert, Rockwell, who was a character in the previous arcs. And if you read all the little notesy things in the lore, you know that he was a scientist who gets crazy, infects himself with element. You fight him in Aberration, and he's back, and he's uglier and nastier than ever, and sounds remarkably like David Tennant. Anyway, so that's the lore part. I might have to go check that out. I haven't looked to see if the Halloween event is actually working on Genesis 2, or if you have to go back to the island. And you know what? I thought I would go chase down all of the Halloween goodies. But then I was like, I'm just going to install it, so why bother? And so I didn't. I will show you around the base. We started with this part, this long, basically glorified barn. That's what I'm best at making, is glorified barns. It wasn't flat like I thought it was, which should come as no surprise. And then it turns out, I really don't use it that much to get my dinos in and out. So whatever. Then I made this part. This is kind of the factory floor. This is where all the tools are, and machines, and blah blah blah. Down here is my ghetto bed, and I've got a few of these up, and I think I've got some more laying around that I just never installed. There's the armor that I'm not using. My greenhouse. Looks like all my other greenhouses pretty much. I didn't plant everything in this greenhouse. I just went with stuff that I knew that I would need and or use. Let's go check that out. And then out here there's our I'm just drawing a blank. I was going to say tech generator, but that's not it. Tech replicator. And then out here somewhere. Well, yeah, you notice that I've got the leash going on. The dino leash. Because I do have a Maywing, and I don't like my Maywing to run off. I named it Agent P. If you don't know what that is, I blame your parents. I did, and it was a pain in the rear. I tamed 2 of these guys, and I'm totally blanking on what they're called now. They're super cool. There's Panther, and the other one is I've already got stashed away. What was the other one's name? I used He-Man names. Panther was Skeletor's cat. The other one, was it Battle Cats? Right there. It was Battle Cat. Oh, and they're Shadow Mains. That's what they're called. Anyway, they're really cool. Shadow or Battle Cat's kind of green, and Panther was kind of purple. So I thought, hey, you'd be Panther. I did catch a space dolphin, which was also a pain in the rear end. Named it Starkist because And what else did I tame that's unique to this map? I tamed a Noglin. Okay, to be honest, I searched for Noglins everywhere. Thought I was going to go crazy, and so I literally just spawned one in and then tamed it. I spawned it in and then tamed it, with regular traps, and I sacrificed several turtles and stuff like that to tame the little Noglin, and I named him Alf. He's kind of cute in a freakish sort of way. Oh, and the other tames, we got this one, which I just named before we started doing the video. Named it Stilts. It is a Tech Strider, and it might be the biggest thing. I don't know if it's bigger than a Giga. It's not something you want to take in a battle. But it has lots of cool features. Has radar, has a defensive shield. It harvests stuff just in insane amounts. It's pretty crazy. And then I got, technically it's called a Void Worm, but the reality is it's a Tech Wyvern. And you see Inferno there in the background. And so Short Circuit was the name I went for the Tech Wyvern. In fact, let's take this up and go check that drop and see if it's a candy corn. Wait, let's not, because Short Circuit's going to take too long. And yes, I've got a teleporter, a Tech teleporter, close to the base, which will take me to the opening where Rockwell, his hangout is. it is candy corn. Look at that. Nice. If I can just land on it. There we go. It's not gonna let me pick it up. Fine. Be that way. Wouldn't need it anyway. Anyway, you can see there's another mountain range way over there. There's also like a whole underwater biome underneath the lake. This lake, which is a really big lake, is not the underwater biome. See that thing that's sticking out right there? That's actually a vertical tunnel that goes underground. And so all your underwater tames or your water tames that you can't live without, they are all down there somewhere. I decided I would live without them. I really had no use for them. And I've lost my base, which is, you know, pretty common for me on this map. I know it's around here somewhere. Anyway, so I am pretty much prepared to take on Rockwell Prime. I've got all the armor and stuff that I think I will need. I'm taking one tame with me, Stitch, which you remember from previous episodes if you've watched any of those. And I respect with a mind wipe, only to realize that I didn't throw anything into Fortitude. And so I will probably respec again and put some points in there because I know I get insanely hot in the riot armor, which I'm going to need once I get inside there into the battle part. You start off with it's like the tech suit. It just looks a little different. Of course, it looks bad right now. Thank you, Xbox One. But it does everything that the tech suit does, and so I'll use that to get in there, and then to start the fight, and then I will switch to riot armor. But I'm gonna respec, and then I guess the next video, because this has gone pretty long. The next video will be a long one, and it will be when it'll be me taking on Rockwell Prime, and I can only beat it or challenge it on Gamma, which is fine. If I beat it on Gamma, we're calling that good, and then I'm gonna be done and say goodbye to all my critters and bases and everything else. So, on such a happy thought, let's underground. That's a terrible camera shot. Let's face the sun. So, thanks for joining me here for the moment. And the next time I see you, I'll be ready to take on Rockwell Prime. Adios.